Oh, man.
Oh man, what? You're gonna have fun, huh?
Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Geek Show. Let's have some fun and talk about stuff that's nerdy. So today's topic is Xbox and the history of it. Lucas Bill 123, thank you for passing a party of 7. Alrighty. The original Xbox launched in 2001. All right, hold on a second. All right, I'm back. This is the original Xbox launched in late of 2001, nearly 19 years ago. A lot has changed with the brand since then, bringing more power and more exclusives and more value to the consumers around the world. Now the brand is set to reimagine itself yet again with the Xbox Series X releases and so on. But before we move forward, why not take a look back at what brought us here in the first place? Xbox has a storied history, which we started out as a simple project, has evolved into one of the most profitable gaming brands in the entire industry. It might help us figure out what we can expect from the company moving forward. The early years, the early years. No, the notion that Microsoft should develop its own gaming console began gaining traction way back in '98 with Kevin Bashus, Seamus Blackley, and Otto Burkus and Ted Haas forming the software giant's first console team after successfully pitching their idea to Bill Gates. Originally dubbed the Direct Xbox, the console was intended to be the first gaming system built like a PC, bringing all the flexibility and power of gaming rig to the console market. The system would run the Windows 2000, making it easy for traditional PC software developers to make within developers to work within the console's architecture and feature more than twice the processing power of the industry's leading PlayStation 2. Despite the marketing team's belief that the abbreviated Xbox name wouldn't fly, the label went over well with focus groups, providing the company with one of the final elements it needed to pull the curtain on its creation, a catchy name. Thank you for the follow. Microsoft continued to push the envelope on both the console and its marketing budget with more demonstrations at the EE Expo, at the Electronic Entertainment Expo a few months later. It was there that the Xbox developer first connected with Bungie Studios, the creator of Halo. The creators and devs of Halo Combat involved. Microsoft's $3 million dollar purchase of Bungie a short time later made headlines in the game industry, but it was Bungie's decision to adapt Halo to make it the best use of the new console's ability and turn it into a first-person shooter. This was the move that helped make history. Nearly a full year later, Bill Gates, with the help of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, revealed the final design of the Xbox at the 2001 Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, along with the system's official release date. On November 14th, Times Square branch of Toys R Us played a host to the official launch of the Xbox, with Bill Gates dropping by to kick off his company's grand experiment in gaming. Concerns regarding the system's look and design, as well as the $299 price tag, fell by the wayside, with over 1 million Xbox consoles flying off shelves in the next 3 weeks. One key component to the console's success was the popularity of its flagship game, Halo, which offered the 1-2 punch of being both exclusive to Xbox and one of the first-person shooter genre's most compelling. Groundbreaking titles to hit shelves in the years, sales of Halo shattered all previous records, with more than 1 million copies of the game sold in the first few months of its release. It might not seem like much by today's standards, but hitting the million-unit mark back then was unheard of. Yes, you did. It went through. Xbox release dates in Japan was February 22nd of 2022. In Europe, March 14th. No problem. Okay. Soon followed, though the system failed to catch eye in either of the two regions with the same energy that it fueled its arrival in North America. In Japan, only 123,000 Xbox units sold in the first week of release, validating Microsoft's fear that the system would have tough time breaking into notoriously difficult overseas market. While Xbox seemingly sold well in the North America and overall launch provided trouble for Microsoft, whose expectations for the system were lofty by the console's standards. Left alone, a brand new system, a high cost of manufacturing the Xbox didn't do its creator any favors, making the next big event in its system's timeline even more surprising. In April of 2002, Microsoft slashed the price of the Xbox from $299 to $199. While the dramatic reduction in price made it nearly impossible for the company to earn any profit whatsoever from sales of the system, the move succeeded in encouraging more households to bring home an Xbox. It was enabled the Xbox to outsell the just released Nintendo GameCube in years that followed, and further established Xbox as the force to be reckoned with in the console wars. Arguably the most important event in the evolution of the Xbox and the growth of Microsoft's place in the gaming industry occurred on the console's first birthday with the launch of Xbox Live. Okay, Microsoft's long-rumored online gaming network had already begun its beta testing phase in August of 2002, but the system went public in November with the Xbox Live Starter Kit. Early adapters were treated to a multiplayer gaming experience that was entirely new to the console industry, pitting players against competitors from all around the world in communal environment. Along with being able to connect with friends and strangers, Xbox Live also made it possible to download new content and take multiplayer interaction to a new level. With over 150,000 subscribers in its first week, Xbox Live was an imagined success, and the numbers continue to grow exponentially for Microsoft's online gaming network in the years to follow. And in the site, while Xbox fan base continued to grow with the addition of Xbox Live, it wasn't all sunshine and sales in the years to follow. In February of 2003, Microsoft had already begun planning for the next generation Xbox, codenamed Xeon. Squishy Mama Bear, thank you for the follow. Xeon at the time. Popular game developer EA took issue with the subscription-based structure of Xbox Live and opted out of releasing their popular Madden football games for Xbox in 2003, only to cut a deal with Microsoft a year later. On top of everything else, the company continued to lose money on each console sold, and by 2004, the technology that had once been the system's biggest selling point had become one of the most frustrating limitations. And thank you for the hype, Squishy. Still, Microsoft pushing forward with its new features aimed at making the Xbox and its heirs the most purpose online media hub that was supposed to be all along, with Xbox Live Arcade launching in November of 2004. Despite reports of the next big thing arriving any day, the launch of Halo 2 provided the rumors of the Xbox demise had been greatly exaggerated to the tune of more than 2.5 million units sold in the first 24 hours of the game was available. The much anticipated sequels, 125 million in sales, made it most successful launch in any entertainment product, whether game, movie, or music album, in consumer history up to that point. The next X and the end of the era. On May 12th, 2005, Microsoft unveiled the Xbox 360, the next generation of its gaming console. With plans to release 360 in November, the company clearly hoped that an early debut almost a full year before the PlayStation 3 and the Nintendo Wii were scheduled to arrive would put the 360 in a position to dominate the market. It also meant writing was on the wall for the original Xbox. Later that year, production of the Xbox officially ceased, with the final tally of sold consoles sitting around 24 million units. While this was nothing to scoff at, the number fell far short of Microsoft's intentional prediction of 50 million consoles in households around the world. It was nowhere near the sales totals of the PlayStation 2, which went on to sell over 153 million units, but the Xbox did not outsell both Nintendo's GameCube and Sega's Dreamcast. The last game produced for the Xbox in North America, Madden 2009, was released in August of 2008, and support for the system was discontinued March of 2009. Final nail in console's coffin was hammered on April 14th, 2010, with the Xbox Live Access eliminated for the original Xbox. The release of the Xbox 360 in the US was on November 22nd of 2005, and in Europe and Japan following month resulted in sellouts nearly over market except Japan, where the sales still struggled to find an audience. By the end of 2005, more than 1.5 million consoles had shipped, putting the system well on its way to becoming the new master of the console castle. But in the rush to get the 360 into households, some serious problems with the system got a pass. No longer after the 360 arrived on market, the term red ring of death began seeing shivers down the spines of Xbox gamers. Among the various hardware and software issues that plagued early models of the 360, one particular nasty problem caused the entire system to encounter a fatal error, giving owners a red ring of light around the console's power button. The various flaws in the early models forced Microsoft to repair and replace countless systems and eventually lead to the extension of the console's warranty to account for all the issues. Even with all the problems for early adopters of the system, 360 sold amazingly well, and by January 2010, more than 39 units have found their way into the households. In both 2009 and 2010, June proved to be an important month for the 360. First, the motion and voice control peripheral that would eventually become Kinect was announced in June of 2009 at the year's E3 convention. Originally labeled Project Natal, Microsoft frequently used cities as code names, and the Brazilian city of Natal was chosen in honor of Brazilian-born project director Alex Kipman. The device was expected to revolutionize. Thank you for the follow. Expected to revolutionize the way 360 users interact with both their console and media connected with it, and the Kinect arrived on shelves. Thank you for the follow. Arrived on shelves November of that year. One year after the Kinect was announced, Microsoft announced that the 360 would be getting a major redesign with a thinner body, upgraded internal specs, additional USB ports, built-in Wi-Fi, and the 360S hit shelves a few days later on June 18th of 2010. Given 4 years between the release of the first Xbox and the arrival of its successor, it's no surprise that after 6 years, rumors began circulating in March of 2011 that the 360 was on its way out, and Microsoft was already hard to work on its next console. The first set of reports surfaced on, of all places, LinkedIn, where several designers and developers added vague descriptions of mysterious new project that they were working on with Microsoft. There was no stopping the internet rumor train once it started chugging along, and before long, new console even had an unofficial name. Xbox 720. Even when the next generation rumors, sales of the 360 continued to assert Microsoft's powerful position of the gaming console gaming industry, and by September of 2012, the company announced that it had hit the 70 million mark in units sold, and by December, that number had jumped to 75 million. Although the sales of the 360 trailed behind Nintendo's Wii, which sold close to 100 million, it outsold the PS3 by around 5 million. The news was followed a month later by the debut of Xbox Music and Xbox Video, Microsoft's new media services that not only replaced existing services on the Xbox, but also offered interactional Apple-style integration across all devices running Windows software. In May of 2013, Microsoft finally unveiled what was the next for the Xbox brand. It didn't leave players particularly happy. Xbox chief Don Mattrick unveiled the next console, the Xbox One, alongside an improved version of Kinect and unprecedented support for television integration. On the surface, the system looked like it had a chance to compete with the PlayStation 4, which had been announced earlier that year, but rumors swirling around the Xbox One, particularly requiring an online connection and limiting the sales of used games. Used games overshadowed news of the system itself.
I need to change my shirt.
When Microsoft brought the Xbox One to E3 the following month, things didn't get any easier. Per tradition, Microsoft has its presentation before Sony and revealed a $500 price for its console, with Kinect bundle with every system. Later that night, however, Sony not only confirmed there were being no online requirements or restrictions on used games with the PlayStation 4, but that it would cost just $400. If ever there was a knocked out punch at the press conference, this looked to be it. Just after E3 revealed that it would change course regarding online connection requirements and used games, instead of having them work as they do on the 360, short time later, he has gone, and after more executive shakeups in the division, Phil Spencer was only made head of Xbox position he still holds today. Despite renewed enthusiasm in the Xbox brand following the decision to remove console-unfriendly features, the Xbox One has found itself nearly a constant struggle to match sales of the PlayStation 4. The system lineup exclusive games but been extremely limited, with Microsoft's first-party development teams unable to compete with the much larger collection of Sony studios, and many of the Xbox One best games were also released on PC. However, second place also led to...
You have a pension, you know?
Yeah.
No wonder.
Okay.
That could be better.
Mm-hmm. However, second innovation from Microsoft, the company made nearly all of its first-party games cross-platform capability, enabling friends on PC and Xbox One to play together, even allowing players to switch between the two platforms without losing progress. It also introduced the Xbox Game Pass program that gives subscribers limited access to a vault of older games as well as a day one access to the latest releases. A mid-generation refresh also helped to make the Xbox One hardware just as appealing, if not more so, than the PlayStation 4. The updated Xbox One S shrank the system caseability, adding in HDR support and a 4K Blu-ray player. With the Xbox One X was the most powerful console in the world at the time of release. It was capable of native 4K gaming, something no other game console could do on a regular basis. And the use of vapor cooling allowed the console to be even smaller than the Xbox One S. Project X Cloud, gaming with you at the center. Despite the sales struggles of the Xbox One, Xbox fans have reason to be excited about the future. At E3 2018, Phil Spencer confirmed that he had teams working on creating the next generation Xbox systems, but unlike in the past, it doesn't appear that there will be one console. Instead, there will be several. Initially known by internal development name Scarlett, Microsoft officially unveiled the Xbox Series X during the Game Awards 2019. Console represents a seeable boost in power for the Xbox One X with 6 DDR6 RAM, 12 TFLOPS of GPU power, and an NVMe SSD, and supports 8K resolution. It's being marketed as the world's most powerful console, with speculation that it would end up being even more powerful than the Sony PlayStation 5. Given the ray tracing capabilities of the PlayStation 5 and its own support for 8K resolution, that would be quite a fit. The Xbox Series X ditches the slim design of the One S and the Xbox One X for something far bulkier. The system resembles a PC tower but can still be placed on its side and features a large number of vents in order to keep itself cool. The console will be packed in with a new controller with mostly resembles Xbox One controller design, but with a dedicated share button similar to the Nintendo Switch and PS4. The directional pad has also been changed to more closely resemble the Xbox Elite controller, but the face buttons, sticks, triggers, and shoulder buttons remain very similar to the Xbox One design. Microsoft announced a new generation during during the E3 2019, official sources referred to the new generation as the simple Xbox before unveiling the Xbox Series X name. There have been reports of a second, less powerful machine that would emit a disk drive but offer a reduced price, and it will allow players to enter the new ecosystem more quickly. The Microsoft One own Xbox console exclusives will also be compatible with the Xbox One system for at least a year after the X launches. This includes Halo Infinite, which will also be coming to PC. After experimenting with the Project X Cloud in an initiative, Microsoft recently announced that players will be able to access a cloud gaming service. Microsoft aimed to incorporate a cloud gaming service with their existing Xbox Pass Unlimited membership starting September 2020. With Stadia, a cloud-based gaming service becoming incredibly popular with gamers, Microsoft had to step up so that they could stay in competition. The xCloud initiative and the new Game Pass cloud gaming feature are those efforts to compete with the services like Stade directly. CEO Stan Natalie stated that the company internally referred to the xCloud Intuitive as Netflix for games. With the xCloud preview, you could get 50 games. You can also access more of these through the Gaming Pass Cloud computing program. Microsoft announced that they have more than 100 titles ready to add once cloud is officially made public. Although it'd be amazing if you only had to depend on a game streaming service instead of PCs and gaming consoles, we haven't arrived at this level of innovation quite yet. However, Microsoft is currently cooking up something interesting for customers, whether they enjoy using a console or like to stream. The idea that they are a company of the past, most have forced them to develop new products and tailor them to their customers' preferences. In today's world, companies are continuing to be pushed to modify and expand their products and services. Microsoft has chosen to appease their loyal customers and, in effect, to keep them around. They can no longer afford to ignore customer demand to diversify their options. The company must continue to expand its manufacturing to include various systems customers can choose from according to their individual needs. Because Microsoft is becoming so flexible and actively working to keep their customers, they are likely to push Xbox back to the top of the gaming console list. So, what is your guys' opinion on what I've read?
No, we're just going to take 2 hours.
So, and stuff, to me, I'm like that the move Microsoft's doing with their Xbox. Trying to do things to keep their customers instead of, you say, make it self and then they lose customers.
Yeah.
If their customers want a better gaming experience, Microsoft's like, okay, we'll work on trying to make that better. And stuff. And that's the direction I like Microsoft going in. To me, the whole aspect of them, you say, up in their operating systems on their computers, they should stop doing that and just focus more into the console market, because they're doing better on that end than they are on the PC end, in my opinion, and stuff. But they'll still keep trying to keep their customers with Microsoft, no matter if it's with the PC or with the console. From what I've gathered in the reading and everything, that they'll do whatever is needed to keep their customers with them and try to keep them from going to other companies for their gaming or for their PC needs. But yeah, a quick note, I am and stuff. I have another scheduled stream tomorrow, and then I'm off Tuesday. I'll probably be doing another stream Wednesday, probably 2. I don't know yet. But yeah, stuff. That's my possible streaming schedule for this coming week. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm still working on adding my socials to I have my socials are connected to my channel, but I haven't posted them in my my chat yet. So I'm still working on that. I'm still building some more stuff for my channel, so that's still in the works. But how's everyone doing? Hey, Jalen. Hey, Potato. How you guys doing? It's doing all right. It's doing all right. Finally crossing that finish line of being over the flu. What are you having for dinner, Potato? Trying to think here. Okay, if you had to choose the best three movies in the decade of you watching movies, what would be those three? Hey, I appreciate that, Jalen. I really appreciate that. If you had to pick three movies, what genre of that movie is? Oh, nice. Spaghetti.
What? Never seen it.
No, that's what she's having for dinner.
Oh, I'm like, what?
No.
I'm like, I never seen that one. That's a new book I haven't seen.
But
Oh, good.
But yeah, and so if you had to choose three top movies of any decade, what would they be and why?
Oh, yeah.
Same here.
Same here.
Now I can name three, but yeah.
Right? Oh.
You like Pac-Man?
Yeah, but it's not a movie.
I know.
So, me, Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Should have known Star Wars.
Oh, it's the most famous one.
Yeah, Star Wars, Indiana Jones,
Yep.
and this is an old classic.
Yeah, Star Wars.
The original trilogy,
Which are 1 through
What?
4 through 6.
4 through 6. Mostly The New Hope is, you say, the number one on my list of Star Wars movies is The New Hope. And number 3 is Nightmare on Elm Street. Because I gotta love something with Johnny Depp. I like the original, his first starter.
I had the funny feeling you would say that. I thought it was because of Robert Englund.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, because of both.
She's using clips.
Oh, okay. You'll really like it.
Oh, yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Word of advice. Think about Jason versus Freddy versus Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it.
Yeah. It's the first start of that whole... It's the first start of that whole Jason and Freddy thing.
Yeah. Ow, ow, ow.
But oh man, I'm trying to think here.
No. Stay out of those.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. If you had to make a short list of TV shows you would classify your greatest to your least, what would they be and why? And it could be from any decade. Me, I would start out with some classics as top tier. One, I've mentioned a couple of these in a previous stream, but I'll bring them up again. One would have to be Salute Your Shorts, Camp on Awana, Pete and Pete, Naruto, Dragon Ball, the animated series of Pac-Man, the Pac-Man and stuff cartoon and stuff show, the Super Mario Brothers show, and then getting into the least would be Rugrats All Grown Up in the least. The whole adaptations of some of the you see the remade of some of the other cartoons and stuff like that, remade and readapted to a different studio. There's a bunch that's on that list. Like the Disney's version of Doug is on my least list. It took a lot away from the original storyline, and it rubbed me the wrong way.
There was no ending to it.
Yeah, it was almost like they turned it into a freaking soap opera.
It was a paradox, and Roger was rich.
Yeah, and it made no sense. It made no sense because Roger never had the mindset of ever having money. To me, if you look at it, it just made no sense. Another one, there was a bunch of other stuff like that. They kept going with the Kids Next Door and that started going downhill.
Kids Next Door is a good one.
Yeah. But after a while, it just started.
So it's Camp Laszlo.
Yeah, Camp Laszlo started going downhill.
Total Drama was a good one.
Total Drama was really good. Yeah, that one should have been. I should have mentioned that on my top tier. But when it comes into, you say ratings like below C on my tiers, I'm putting Doug at D, the new Doug on D. I'm putting a bunch of those others at D. C, I would put C Camp Laszlo because I prefer the more original Camp Laszlo, and the continuation of it would still stay at C. But D also would be trying to think here. Trying to rewind my DVR in my head of some others. Pee Wee Herman before it started going downhill after his issues with all those issues, those drama issues. I would put an A the show and stuff like that, the whole Ernest shows.
It was good, but wacky.
Yeah, wacky.
Kind of creepy. Too.
Yeah, like Ernest Goes to School.
The movies.
Yeah, the
I
movies.
The actual show, which is 13 minutes.
Right. Also, in the B category, I would put the Scooby-Doo series is in B. The original.
And not the movies.
Not the movies, but the TV series. Like like Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? All those, I would put that in B. Because they were really good, and it was like continuous storyline that just continued into and branched into a new series and just kept going.
Yep.
And that I liked. I liked when Cartoon Network was doing that with shows where they stopped the show and then there was a storyline that was still there, so they bounced it into a new series, a new show, and continued on. And I liked that aspect. But when you end a story and there's still storyline and you just ignore that and you try to make something new, it doesn't match. It just doesn't click. Because you have a whole mess of missing puzzle pieces that you need to understand the rest of the story, and how can you grab them when you're watching a brand new storyline? That's another thing, is even though I'm a heavy Star Wars fan, I might get some criticism out there if people view this and all that stuff, but to me, Disney should have taken advice from George Lucas and went his direction with the last 3 movies. Then we would have had those puzzle pieces a lot better, and we would have and I would have enjoyed it a little more. I liked the graphics. I liked the some of the plots. But the storyline in general was a copy and paste, especially the Force Awakens. That was a copy and paste of. Oh, don't get me started with Disney going into the freaking live action remakes. Oh man, it's just. But I've heard there's going to be I heard from a bird in the mouth, there's going to be a bunch of positive changes happening with Disney, with the company. One, we're not going to be seeing Disney connected to Hulu anymore. Nope. They're starting to knock down the prices for the parks, slice those, bring those down. There's a bunch of stuff and stuff happening.
Netflix is getting...
No. Netflix. Last I heard, Netflix is starting to surrender the rest of the Disney stuff they have on there back to Disney. Hulu's going back to Comcast. ESPN's going to go out the window with Disney.
Well, you cannot always get what you want.
Disney, from what I heard, and this is straight from the CEO, is they're losing itself when the other CEO that was before Iger, when he took over 20th Century Fox, that hurt them big time financially.
Well,
big time.
They started buying. Their biggest mistake was buying things.
Yeah.
If you go back, that's the same thing Bill Gates was doing until he was told to stop.
Yeah, true.
He was taking out small-time computer companies and expanding Microsoft to a point where it just got ridiculous and he had to be stopped.
Yeah, but and Iger wants to take Disney back to its original mindset of quality, not quantity.
Yeah, that's.
And for the longest time before Iger came back, when they brought Iger back, there was no quality. There was only quantity and only what the board said.
Hey, just like a favorite quote of my favorite anime, it doesn't matter about the quality, but it's more about the quantity, not the quantity, but the quality.
Yeah. If you make good stuff, stick with just making good stuff. Don't worry about if it's going to make you money. That will come, but don't worry about trying to make the money. Make the quality, because the quality will bring you the money.
That's the thing about these people. They want all be hot shots and it get interconnected.
Yeah. To
Makes-
me, except from what I've been
makes
noticing about Iger, when Iger was CEO and then he left and then was replaced and then brought back, he believes in Walt's mindset of the company. And Iger will do anything outside of the board. He will go his way the way Walt went his way. So it's stuff it's better that way, in my opinion. Stuff that, to me, I'm happy. So because from when Iger was the CEO before Chapek, Disney had 5 years of up, 5 years of up, 5 years of up. And then when Chapek took down, we had that big, huge drop. And it just, a lot of stuff happened that also caused the down too. But the biggest mistake, like Leon said, and stuff, was, and like I said, was when they took over 20th Century Fox because they could not handle it financially.
Well, here's the thing. You started taking companies bit by bit. First it was Pixar, then it was what was the other one before Fox?
Okay, it was Pixar. Then not much longer after Pixar, it was LucasArts,
So
Lucasfilms,
no,
and then Marvel.
Marvel.
It was Marvel.
It was
Then,
Marvel.
well, then
But
Lucas.
when you start like before, when you start taking Pixar and Marvel, two best brands. I mean, I grew up with Marvel. Shoot, G.I. Joe, the original cartoon, was made by Bart Marvel and another company. Those, when you take something like that and then put your competition out of business like they did with Fox, leaving tons of movies, that was a waste of money.
Yeah.
And it was a critical mistake on their behalf because they lost a lot of money in doing that.
The one show that's been hurting Disney the most with their connection with 20th Century Fox is the Simpsons series. It's the Simpsons. That's one of their biggest hurdles and stuff like that. The Simpsons. And stuff. But yeah, other than that stuff and everything. But yeah, there is a lot of new stuff coming to the whole Disney company. They're still expanding some stuff. They're still renovating stuff, updating some stuff to the parks, changing stuff for the new generations and stuff. But at the same time, they're bringing back stuff that was lost because of Chapek and stuff.
You know what? The biggest
No problem for the tab. Appreciate it.
the biggest question we gotta ask ourselves is, do we still want remakes and prequels or sequels?
No.
That's
No.
the biggest question that is remain, because as far as I've seen, some are good, some are decent, but then a lot of them cause people to go into chaotic mode.
Mm-hmm. There were a couple that I just barely watched. You say the first beginning of it, and I said, I'm not finishing this movie. Because it's just it was ridiculous. To me, this is a famous line from a well-known director / screenwriter. He's flat out said one time, "It's like, I wrote this movie to only go for one movie, and that was it. I don't want to do any more. I want it right there." But he was, and if you look at it, he was begged and pulled and pressured and everything like that, so he kept going. It's became one of the most successful horror movie series out there, but he did not want to. He only wanted to do one, and that was it. You guys are probably wondering what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Saw series. The creator and writer and director only wanted to do one movie, and that was it.
Yeah, it was outrageous because it was a repetitive thing.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
If you look at it, yeah, it's like it's the same
You
story.
get kidnapped, you have to escape from deadly traps, and again, you're gonna die.
Yeah. And then when they came out with the whole Jigsaw thing, I watched it because I'm a Twisted Pictures fan, but a little bit. But I watched it because of that aspect. But it was like repeating the first Saw
all over
again in Jigsaw, because but at the same time you did understand and stuff. Because what made no sense, Jigsaw was still alive, even though there was evidence in some of the movies that he died. So it was like, what?
He's already dead. How is it that he's gonna still continue his sick and twisted game?
Yeah, but if some people like that, as I would notice with me on this, is that you would, as I would, like you said, the first one, there was some pieces. So what they call jigsaw puzzles that you grabbed, you kept in your mind and everything, you dwelled on them for the next, and so when there's going to be a Saw 2. So, okay, let me take these puzzle pieces and put them into the puzzle for the next movie and see if they make sense. And it was a little puzzle game that you were playing in your head while you were watching it. And yeah, for a while, Jigsaw was still existed all that stuff, but then he eventually started recruiting others, taking his place as the one setting up the traps and doing the capturing and all that stuff. And then because his health was starting to deteriorate, it went down. So he was starting to recruit others to take his place, but you still saw him. So it just made no sense.
It just backfired big time. I mean,
it was a flop. Jigsaw was good, but it was a flop, in my opinion. That's just my opinion of it. It was a flop. To me, the best horror series, and as it was only 2 movies, but it was really good. No, actually it was 3, but one was the original, and then there was a remake, but it was a little bit better than the original. Hills Have Eyes was really good. Another good horror was, in my opinion, was the Halloween series.
Hey, you cannot forget about it.
Oh, don't, yeah.
You cannot.
Well, it was good.
You cannot live.
No. And to me,
the movie was kind of a mess of itself.
But the show was good. And there was a lot of stuff based off of Stephen King's book. A lot in the show. And in this series of stuff, it was really good. And they followed his storyline perfectly.
Pet Sematary was also a good one.
Oh, Pet Sematary was really good.
Which, on the movie side, it's kind of weird because if you've seen the movie, and this might be a spoiler, but if you see the end of the movie, instead of what happened on the original, where that and everybody died, you see Gage locked up in the car, Church going on the car, along with the sister the moment that died.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, is there going to be a second part of it?
Take something to relax your body.
So,
but yeah,
the thing about movies, sometimes they turn out to be big cliffhangers, like it, and like the remake of Pet Sematary, and it makes you wonder: is there gonna be a chance to actually see what happened later on?
Yeah, that's true. But other than that, and stuff. if you had, and it's like, what direction would you want, or what concept would you wish to be put into a movie?
And remember, folks, there are no limits. I mean, you could go as far as you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, you can have horror mixed with comedy, and it works fine. Hey, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's a classic there.
Yeah, it is true.
That works, but remember, you also have to figure out what's gonna work with you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
the other side of the coin.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I and stuff right now and stuff. I have a bunch of good ideas and everything, but right now I'm just writing them as a book right now, and so I would love to eventually pass them on and see a movie being made out of it. But right now I'm still writing them as a book. But at the same time, I'm still I still have writer's block here and there, and I'm still stuck on chapter 2 of my book that I'm writing.
Yeah, it's a sad thing I gave up on that.
Yeah, but yeah, and stuff. But yeah, to me, the whole direction Hollywood's going nowadays is just making me sick to the stomach. And it's ridiculous and stuff. It's just money hungry turtles.
Saying, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. But what do you get in return?
Yeah.
Slap on the face.
And it's like Hollywood's getting to the point like, you know what, never mind on this movie. I don't think we'll make enough of what we're gaining.
Are just turning around.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They have finally seen the light.
There's a lot of actors like that are finally saying, "Forget you, Hollywood. I'm just gonna go and do a hobby on the side and stay there."
And you cannot also. You also gotta remember some of these third world companies. One that is really famous and got the rights or the permission of the Synthesis series, Saban. You know, there's if you wanna know, there's a history about the whole thing, and there's reasons. There's a whole reasons of why a lot of people turn in or decide to leave.
Yeah, that is true. And for a good example, a well-known comedian / actor flat out said, "Hey, after Sonic 2, I'm done." And that was Jim Carrey. He flat out said, "After Sonic 2, I'm done. That's it for Hollywood. I'm done. If nothing new comes my way, I'm not turning back towards Hollywood if nothing new comes my way."
And nowadays, everybody's relying on just remakes and like I said.
Yeah.
So that's a poor excuse of Hollywood.
Yeah. Jim Carrey himself, he's willing to just sell art paintings for the rest of his life. So and stuff that's going to be his living now, and he feels more comfortable just doing that now. But other than that, another one that would have said goodbye but he said goodbye to Hollywood, but in the wrong way. And everything like that, because I could tell he was already getting to that point too, way before a lot of the other ways of pushing it happened. And that was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
He did it the wrong way, leaving Hollywood.
Well, yeah, that's true. A lot of people live the wrong way. Don't get me wrong. And
It's just
you've seen that like a kid who could have been famous after, come on, after siding with Chuck Norris,
yeah.
just suddenly decides to. I mean, come on.
And then as another legend within the TV series like that does it with his own life because he had enough. So it's happening in Hollywood where a lot of the actors are finally getting enough of it, and some of them lead towards the one not right way of doing it.
It's not just Hollywood. In the wrestling business, it has happened.
Yeah, any kind of entertainment, it's any form of Hollywood, it's happening. That means it's not just movies, TVs, all that stuff, but also in the sports and all that stuff, any form of Hollywood entertainment. And a lot of people high up there are making everything Hollywood-like, and it's starting to deteriorate everyone below and knock them down. And it's starting to get more and more. It's starting to grow. That bubble is starting to grow more and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger each day. And it's pushing more and more and more. I don't like saying this word, but pushing more people in any form of Hollywood to either leave completely and pull away or leave in the sense of suicide. I don't like using that word, but it's happening more periodically.
Famous wrestlers. I could name one. One who was my favorite one. Chris Benoit. Famous.
Okay.
There's other ones like Eddie Guerrero and Randy Savage Macho Man. I mean, these guys, they had everything and they just went the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is understandable the fact that you have to be prepared for your presentations. You have to go over your scripts. You have to be prepared. But you also take steroids. You also have family issues that shouldn't be with you, and all that gets you to, well, a certain mode.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And sadly enough, it leads you to that point.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, oh man. But I have a song I want to play that fits the mood for now, even though it's a remix of another song, but the lyrics fit the personality as of the somewhat of the topic. Everyone's got to know your enemy.
Yeah, it's almost a
It's a different version, but it still has the same meaning. But yeah, let's just chill a little bit and relax with the music. If you have any questions, just pop them in the chat, as long as it's not personal. Alrighty.
So you might wonder why the unicorns, why the Pegasus, why their spikes.
It's a remix. It's like a My Little Pony remix.
From Green Day.
It's a Green Day remix, pony style, a My Little Pony style. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Trying to, cause I get off at an hour. Potato, thank you for the 110 bits. I really appreciate that. Alrighty. Oh man. Trying to, let me see here. I was gonna add some older remix in the background. No, I'll go road because but yeah, on my bucket list, pretty quick. So I am going to be doing some off-stream playing of some games I haven't played in a very long time. I'm in the process of getting my hands on them, and one of them Quake. The other one is WoW, World of Warcraft, and another one's StarCraft. I just won't be streaming them yet until I have the right setup to do it. But yeah, I'm also oh potato. If you did over 100 bits, I'm gonna do 100. So I'm also in the works of starting to do pre-records for my YouTube channel. So there's a link to check out my YouTube channel, the rate stuff. I'm gonna start posting stuff that's gaming and non-gaming related. So watch out for new videos on my YouTube channel. And I'm also in my chat. In my chat, I also have links to my first chat. Check that out. But those are my. And uh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty soon and stuff. We're gonna be bringing back the podcast that was dormant for a bit. We're gonna be bringing that back. And stuff to the Geek Brothers. Um, and it's gonna be split between me and my co-host channel, Leon 08 we're going to be rotating between our channels and podcast. So it'll be one stream one way mine, and vice versa. Just go back and forth. So if you have any ideas or suggestions on what should be talked about on the podcast, you could either get a hold of me or Leon via DM, and we will take suggestions. Oh, yeah, and stuff. But yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that I'll be updating you guys with that's going to be happening between our channels and everything like that. So just keep your eyes and ears out for that. But if there's anything you guys want me to even bring up in my normal just chatting streams, just DM me with suggestions, and I will talk about those certain topics. So it's not just with the podcast; it's also with my own streams too. But yeah, but yeah, like we were talking so before, so it was like when Disney got, it's like Disney was partnered with, well, alongside partnered with Pixar before they brought them out. But they taught us like bought us look at stuff. It was two things that they bought from George Lucas, Pixar, and then his actual studio. So it was like it was both and stuff like that because George Lucas owned both his own filming studio and Pixar. So it's they uh, purchased it from both from him, both of them from him. Okay. What's any plans for tomorrow and stuff, like gaming wise, etc. Cool. Nah, um, I'm not. I might watch the Super Bowl, but not on TV, but through another server that I'm in and stuff that is hosting a watch party. So I might pop in and watch it with them and stuff. Depends on for plus because I'm gonna be going out of town for a little bit. tomorrow, so I'll be busy doing some errands and stuff. Yeah, and stuff. And my roommate slash best friend is gonna stay back just to watch the fort. I would be really even more focused on watching the Super Bowl if my team was in it. So and other than that and stuff, any future games you guys have plans of getting or wanting to try out and anything like that? Okay, that's fine, potato. And that's fine. And anyway, so I might be ending it soon, anyways, because I'm starting to feel drained. So I appreciate you all coming in, but I am going to try and find someone to send you off to if you guys want me to. If you have any suggestions of anyone to send it to, let me know. Because it's open and stuff like that to send it to someone. So what's happening so far? Nothing much. Nothing much. Just winding down the stream a little bit right now. But yeah, I'm gonna start sending you off. All right. And a few more minutes. I'm passing it to a wonderful streamer. Um, he's like that, a really good friend of mine, and also stuff like that. It's Dopey 150 and stuff. I hope everyone that's still here give him love and enjoyment, right? And stuff. So yeah, I'm starting to send it off now. See you guys tomorrow. Love you all. Right. Now, I need
Oh, check this out. 6 hours.